Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Halo, your daily dose of news series. This is me, Van, your presenter for today. So for today's series entitled The Unlawful Activity Under the Anti-Money Laundering Act of Republic Act Number 9160 as amended by Republic Act Number 10365.
Piracy is robbery or forceful depredation on the high seas without lawful authority, done in animo furandi or intent to rob, and in the spirit and intention of universal hostility. The penalty for piracy is reclusion perpetua. Piracy is an international crime as well as part of robbery and theft. As stipulated in Section 3 of Presidential Decree No. 532, or the Anti-Piracy and Anti-Highway Robbery Law of 1974, the penalty of reclusion temporal in its medium and maximum periods shall be imposed. If physical injuries or other crimes are committed as a result or on the occasion thereof, the penalty of reclusion perpetua shall be imposed.
Section 2, Bribery of the Revised Penal Code. Article 210, Direct Bribery. Any public officer shall agree to perform an act constituting a crime in connection with the performance of his official duties in consideration of any offer, promise, gift, or present received by such officer, personally or through the mediation of another, shall suffer the penalty of prisión mayor in its medium and minimum periods, and a fine of not less than 3 times the value of the gift, in addition to the penalty corresponding to the crime agreed upon, if the same shall have been committed. If the gift was accepted by the officer in consideration of the execution of an act which does not constitute a crime, and the officer executed said act, he shall suffer the same penalty provided in the preceding paragraph. And if said act shall not have been accomplished, the officer shall suffer the penalties of prisión correccional in its medium period and a fine of not less than twice the value of such gift. If the object for which the gift was received or promised was to make the public officer refrain from doing something which it was his official duty to do, he shall suffer the penalties of prisión correccional in its maximum period, to prisión mayor in its minimum period, and a fine of not less than 3 times the value of such gift. The provisions contained in the preceding paragraphs shall be made applicable to assessors, arbitrators, appraisal and claim commissioners, experts, or any other persons performing public duties, as amended by Batas Pamansa bilang 871, approved May 29, 1985. Article 211, Indirect Bribery. The penalties of prisión correccional in its medium and maximum periods, suspension, and public censure shall be imposed upon any public officer who shall accept gifts offered to him by reason of his office, as amended by Batas Pambansa bilang 871, approved May 29, 1985. Article 211, Qualified Bribery. If any public officer is entrusted with law enforcement and he refrains from arresting or prosecuting an offender who has committed a crime punishable by reclusion perpetua and or death, in consideration of any offer, promise, gift, or present, he shall suffer the penalty for the offense which was not prosecuted. If it is the public officer who asks or demands such gift or present, he shall suffer the penalty of death, as added by Section 4, Republic Act 7659.
And as for the corruption of Section 2, Article 212, Corruption of Public Officials, the same penalty is imposed upon the officer corrupted, except those of disqualification and suspension, shall be imposed upon any reason who shall have made the offers or promises or given the gifts or presents as described in the preceding articles.
Presidential Decree No. 1866 as amended, or Republic Act No. 8294, an act further amending the provisions of Presidential Decree No. 1866 as amended, entitled Codifying the Laws on Illegal or Unlawful Possession, Manufacture, Dealing in, Acquisition, or Disposition of Firearms, Ammunition or Explosives, or Instruments used in the manufacture of firearms, ammunition, or explosives, and imposing stiffer penalties for certain violations thereof, and for other relevant purposes, states that for unlawful manufacture, sales, acquisition, disposition, importation, or possession of an explosive or incendiary device, the penalty of reclusion perpetua shall be imposed upon any person who shall willfully, unlawfully manufacture, assemble, deal in, acquire, dispose, import, or possess an explosive or incendiary device with knowledge of its existence and its explosive or incendiary character, where the explosive or incendiary device is capable of producing destructive effect on contiguous objects or causing injury or death to any person, including, but not limited to, hand grenades, rifle grenades, pillbox bomb, Molotov cocktail bomb, firebomb, and other similar explosive and incendiary devices. Under PD 1866, the unlawful possession of low-power firearms is punishable by prisión mayor in its maximum period to reclusion temporal and a fine of 15,000 pesos, provided that no other crime is committed. The said penalty would land you in prison for 10 to 20 years. The providing clause of PD 1866 suggests that one can only be held liable provided no other crime was committed. Otherwise, the perpetrator would only be liable for the said crime committed and not for illegal possession as contained in PD 1866.
So before we formally end our video, let us have the question of the week. With the advancement of accounting technology, how do I keep up and stay relevant? With the continuous advancement of science and technology in general, we as humans must as well go parallel with these changes in order to keep up with the modernization and development.
And do not think that technology will and become a threat to the accountancy or the accounting profession, but rather use this to enhance our skills through changing our routines from traditional to modern innovation.
Like in recording transactions and in auditing, there are already available softwares that help ease the workload of accountants and auditors. Thus, focusing on manual alone is keeping you from technological advancement.
That is why schools like GCT introduce computer-related courses and automated accounting system in its accountancy program in order to make accountancy graduates as competitive, as relevant, and as modern as possible.
So that's it for our series today. Keep safe and have a good day ahead.